Hello, collective. Welcome to a timeless soul connection reading where we discuss, whatever the motive is for the reading itself and whatever wants to come up organically. And also, most likely, however you deem a soul connection or whatever your curiosity that brings you here at this moment, there may be something here to unpack. Whatever brings you here again is in true form to listen out to the entirety of the reading. However, bear in mind that you have tapped into a collective reading that I'm holding as seventh, and this is not a personal one-to-one connection that you and I have made time for. So it's important that you remember, take your discernment and take everything that resonates with you and leave anything behind with me with the reading that may not have been to your fancy or to your liking. Again, I am seventh that reads these energies for you. I run two sister channels. This is for Sekhmet, the other is for Bastet. And to gain access to her channel, you can find in the description box below some links, as well as knowing that you can gain access to my newly launched website that I have made for you all to figure out what and who seventh is and how to book any services that I currently have made available for you at this time. Alright, soul connection. Again, whatever brings you here is in true form to the reading. Remember that feminine and masculine energies are non-gender specific. However, femininity has both feminine and masculine energies. Masculinity also has feminine and masculine energies. Again, I am seventh, aka Master Seventh, that reads these energies for you. I am a master healer that provides remote wellness alignments and tarot intuitive insights such as this. You. What? You may feel very out of place. The irony of this reading is that it's saying soul connection, but you really may not be feeling connected to anything. There's a lot of sadness coming through here. For one card. Worry, Five of Swords. Not feeling connected. To be honest, I feel that some of you are dealing with a lot of DNA trauma. Okay, this could be ancestral trauma, but this is mostly tied to something deeper than that, which means, I mean, how can I explain this? The coding that makes you who you are has been put a hex on to prevent it from, one, knowing about itself, or two, being able to foster and grow. It's like someone has been like contaminated. This is very satanic here with the upside down star. So there is a very negative, and when I say negative, I mean negative worse than the void. Okay, at least in the void, it protects. Quasars are important because everything in existence is what they pretty much keep together. But this energy is a contamination done with greed and pettiness to secure the notion of illegitimate growth of the soul. They're interested to keep you disconnected. And this might sound off-putting for someone, and your life might give you memory flashbacks of that seem impossible for you to even think that this message could be for you. And that's exactly maybe why you needed to hear this, even if this may not apply, because it could be just the artificial light that you would never consider the possibility of this to be the reason. Now that's the only way it could possibly trigger a possibility to you. What if? And the what if will have, this is a fucking guarantee, will have traces of vibration behind it to verify if it is true. Why? Because I'm not gonna go deeper into that. There's no need for that. From where I'm seeing this is fucking deep already, okay? And if it's that deep and if it's that vast and I can sense it, I don't need to pry more, because the message has been received. And all the karma to dissolve a possibility has more or less been put in place from this moment. Okay, so bear that in mind. Bear that in mind that you can bypass this reading and do a very normal everyday. You don't have to go to a witch doctor, an exorcist, a fucking healer to dissolve this issue. You should be able to dissolve this issue should it resonate with you, should it be a sideline of a mild point of verification that you needed to help you secure the notion that you can dissolve this, quote unquote, on your own. The reason why I'm saying quote unquote on your own is that essentially you still needed a booster of an outside resource to make that a possibility of a trigger. If that's the case, this has been one of those situations where you're not doing it alone. I am, however, a resource to potentially have triggered. Okay, so are there things that you can do? Oh yeah. Absolutely. If you heard and you were understanding the assignment, may that really just diminish your concerns. Allow your sadness to come. Allow the burdens to announce themselves. But you, the soul, are gonna fly past that and sail above the tumultuous waters of any concern. This is an absolute resurrection dictated by getting you to understand there is power behind concern and worry. There is power behind your fears. And that fear isn't as stupid as you may think it may be. It can give you a valuable lesson. And this opportunity is here for you. Oh, I hate this card. All right, Seven of Swords. Okay, very interesting depiction of the Seven of Swords traditional tarot, I just don't fuck with it. I don't. Okay, it can go fuck off. And look at the cause of injury that it does. In this deck, the third eye has been absolutely, with the cat here, tainted, and the third eye is absolutely responsible for deciphering the message that I said in the beginning of the reading. That feminine and masculine energies are non-gender specific, that femininity has masculine and feminine, and that masculinity has feminine and masculine as well. All that, although it might look to you very gender specific, has multiple tiers of philosophy, definition, perspective, aspects, end goal, start goal, all that jazz. So all that which it is that you know is being asked to reconsider. It's kind of like the age of cognitive dissonance, the war on consciousness. A lot of people just do not want to accept, and that's okay. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to accept it, because the consciousness of you is part of the goddamn war anyway. Whether you find yourself being the bishop, the pawn, the knight, the queen, the king, or the tower of the chessboard, the white piece or the black piece, offense, defense, is up to your choosing. Okay. So there's worry, there's doubt, but I'm asking you to resurrect from this. I'm asking you to define yourself in this. As the Queen of Swords comes out here and wants to tell her story, let's take a peek. God damn. I'm being told not to take these cards, alright? They're not going to be considered on the board. This is a sideline point of view with the Moon card here. Alright, it's a sideline point of view with the Queen of Swords coming out with her alpha energy of Queen of Wands. It's the shadow and the light of you. And then there's the ego with the mini chariot representation here. The Prince of Wands. To be like, you may have been just on the way of working your ass off and not knowing why you're working as hard as you are. Who are you serving at the end of the day? There's a reckoning happening within you. Oh boy, excuse me. These snakes right here are wrapped around you. This is from the energy being casted upon you in accidental thoughts, in betraying thoughts, in triggered thoughts, in well thought out thoughts that are attacking the webbing of who you are. And since you are the center of your own fucking web, you can control the narrative of what the fuck is going on, first and foremost. Exhaustion up the wazoo, I swear. This is also maybe a point of trigger. You don't have any more access energy, right? You desire a lot, but that desire is coming from through like a desire of keeping a manifest destiny, a desire of imagination and dreams. But the physical aptitude to get you to do anything is very like running on empty. And that's that worry, that's that doubt casted upon you that has more weight of density than your own awareness of yourself. Now, however, imagine if you were aware of yourself, that could win the war of the density of what your body is attaching itself to, quote unquote, that is its threat. Imagine what you can do. It's just a threat now because it's a landing zone. But the moment you, the tower, the flower, the person, become aware of the succubus that is draining your energy, boy, are you then the fucking threat. Right? I mean, isn't it simple in theory? And if it's simple in theory, then it's also simple in practice. Period, to be honest. To be honest, it's just period. Everything else is fucking complicated because we put perspective of complications to it. All that. And only goddamn 2 cards. It's crazy. Alright, we have here generosity. Yeah, like totally working your ass off, doing everything for everyone else, while eyes are all around you, saying, oh, you can benefit from that person's energy. And so they are. You're doing the dirty work for them. This is very manipulative energy here. Very manipulative energy. This is like family members in the background saying, yeah, we don't want to let go of you. You gotta maintain the family. We need your money. What about family? Family first. Excuse me? And for those of you who shrug their shoulders when I'm like, or wince when I say, what do you mean? And questioning the whole family thing. Not really. We're not gonna go there, but no. Family is not first. You first. Because you choosing you first and someone else choosing themselves first maybe landed for two people to land themselves together, and then pop comes a baby. And then the baby is then not responsible for the decisions that two people did on their own, whether it was manipulative, whether it was desirable, whether it's off kilter, abusive. It took two to tango, and then all of a sudden two tangoing people want to say this is now your responsibility. What about family? Excuse me? What about responsibility? What about wisdom? What about manners and dignity? Where's that? Where's that going on the totem pole of responsibility? So be mindful when people are asking you of any kind of denomination, bloodline, anyone who is not an expert of you, who you should be. If you left somebody's life and you're meant to re-enter, the universe will fucking create that goddamn bridge and the door for you. She may even fucking create the goddamn vessel to get you there if she can't deliver you on 2 feet. She will make sure. And some of your will be like, oh, I don't believe it. I've been trying to manifest this shit. It's because you've been focused on what it's supposed to look like. And the more you focus on what it's supposed to look like and how much you're supposed to give or who owes you what, you're never going to see the different variations of how all that you've asked for, more chances than not, have already introduced themselves to you. It's not the interest of the gods to make you feel that you are the god. It's an interest of the gods to make you feel foreign to the idea that you could never be. Because if you have more interest in feeling foreign, well, then you would take accountability of dignity, respect, the act of not knowing, the act of mannerisms, the act of love, the act of conditional love, the act of unconditional love, the act of servitude, a bit more serious because you are on the quest of sovereignty. You are here to break those chains, as we have mentioned. You are here to grow in the wisdom. You are here to understand that all the prevailings that could be undone in the injustices could be undone, could be prevailed, and have been prevailed because you are the one breathing. And the more you breathe, the more you are an engine of your own energy commenting away in this universe, the more you outshine all the other ones who wish to be as vast and beautiful, energetic, like poignant comet. Period. Just period. There's an unconditional aspect from this card when it comes to challenging the idea that I brought up a moment ago when it comes to family. Family is the interesting subject to get you thinking. Family will give you the ideas whose tree branches you really belong to. But if you really, hold on, what is it? It's a quest to wanting to, family is in a way wanting to know how you come in as a human species in this life, and the tales of that species having lived. And then there is you within that. And the you within that could be a branch from this genealogy. You being you may take away I don't know how to explain this. You being you may take away realty space on a tree. And so the neighboring branches are getting jealous because of how you're growing. But little do you know, you're a leaf. Have all the DNA just like the tree, in the tree branch. And little do you know, you're going to fall to the ground and recycle and potentially become a tree. There's a sector that you have that, yes, might seem symbolically tied to an inevitable course of responsibility. And then, however, there is a you version of that within that construction, should that be. And that's the quest of finding that philosophical ideology of where you are conditionally to that and how you serve unconditionally through that. It takes complexities and makes them beautiful again. It takes complexities and understands diversity is needed to conquer, to make resilient. We had that mini chariot card, yeah, that came out in that wad of cards with the Queen of Wands, as a page, as a prince card, Prince of Wands, and the chariot is here, the major arcana, and the Emperor is here. So we're the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands, we're like the alpha of each other. They're each other's shadow, is because of the overall patriarchy. The glare of the sun is beautiful right now. What will be your saving grace is not the tongue of human speech. The saving grace is going to be the connections that you have of conditional versus unconditional aptitude, asking you to define each, find the flow and the tango of dance between the both, and understand that both are needed and both are valid. You know, we use parents as a conditional aspect. We chase something other than ourselves, other than family, for the unconditional aspects. They're gonna share the same goddamn theories with each other. They're both gonna contradict each other. They're both gonna have a matter of mattering. But everything other than human is going to help you feel more empowered as human. It's not humans right now that are going to bring you the reward and give you a high five for how amazing you are. Every single fucking every other human is more or less suffering right now. It's not that they can't practice gratitude and they don't maybe give you a beautiful compliment like you look beautiful today, or I really like your this, or I really like that, or I really like this. It's not about that. At the end of the day, it's more or less what people bring to their bed at night, wherever they rest their weary heads. That's where the suffering may begin or end, and that's where it needs to end if it starts there. That's where that beginning should never have a continuum, because the only continuum of that beginning is a regenerative one, not where you should be concerned. You shouldn't be concerned at nighttime, because in darkness you were fucking created. In darkness, They learned about fire. In caves, they learned about the sunlight. There's beautiful things to be found. I mean, look at the archaeologists now who are still studying history due to the archaeological evidence. It's not in the sun. It stayed evident because in the darkness. So we really gotta mind people who are just want to be love and light. We really gotta mind people who just want to say God will have everything. No, we have to reteach. We have to reteach what to do. We can't just gaslight with a fucking compliment and think that the person who you're saying it to will have it all figured out. Because more chances than not, no, we don't have it figured out. This is a journey to figure out. Not to expedite it, not to feel less when we're not at the end goal, but to feel empowered every step of the way. Whether it's 10 steps back or a leap fucking forward, we should have the same tonality of being able to regenerate ourselves through lessons, highs and lows. It's because it's a fucking frequency. Period. To stay like this would be idiotic. The fucking earth doesn't even do that. She doesn't stay the same. She doesn't. Everything changes. The day-to-day changes from second to second. Even if that second repeats itself a million fucking times, there's something new to be given and something old to be remembered. So, is all that beauty, all that commonplace going to be found by injured people? Maybe not. So we got to wheel that shit back and understand full circle something about ourselves, which will then include the misery of who we are, and then feel fucking empowered. That does also include us. It includes our suffering. It includes our trauma. We're not victim. We're not survivor. We are. And to survive is being. And to have an opinion is a matter. So that's all soul connection with self. If we deem to have a connection with anyone else, well, we need to have 360 of that circle of understanding of ourselves. Not 359, not 340, not 180, 360. And in that 360 is that Tesla fucking magic. Proven, provided, and fact-checked for you. It's fact-checkable at this point. It really is. Whether or not the hashtag censoring will fucking make you be able to address that fact or not, the people who can share the knowledge don't need the evidence of your evidence of finding out a fact. More or less, they are the fact. So, you taking the time to research is wasting time. Because if you don't fuck with something, you don't have to put research into it. You don't have to invest time into it just because you don't like it. Just like you don't, maybe like a reading, you don't have to invest time to say you don't like something. You can just move on by. That's how shops, businesses stay open. No. Five of Swords. Okay. This is the Five of Cups energy. crazy. Because it's really hard to somehow convince you that you need to turn around. You won't believe it right now. Okay. If you're someone who still stays in being afraid, that when I am using this moment to tell you in the way that I feel triggered that I need to give you this announcement, is that you could come to me if you need validation on being in a lane that gets you to the path, that gets you to turn around and see possibilities once again. If you're someone who's afraid of that because you think it's a marketing scheme or whatever, then I know you are challenged, not by hurting my ego or any of that. You are challenged with needing to feel full and fully betrayed before you trust taking a leap of faith. You need to feel completely that all your needs cannot be met anymore. All the resources are, you're pretty much like in the negatives. In order to feel the need, all right, survival is fittest now, I need to just go. Until that moment happens, you may not turn around, right? So to expedite that, the only way to expedite that is to tell you to keep finding a way to ground yourself in whatever you think grounding means for yourself at this moment. Because there are aspects of materialism that needs to come and squeeze existence within you. More or less make you feel very uncomfortable. Like you need to be smacked up with some shit at the moment in order to feel like move to do anything about it, which is sad in a way. However, forgivable for the fact of it seems kind of normal, right? It's not your bullshit until it becomes your bullshit. It's not your concern until it becomes your concern, right? And you don't care until you have to care. So, could we be mad at that message? Sure. Is it rightful though? Probably. It's probably correct. If you're only at that capacity, then you can only be at that capacity. Fuck. It's like I wish I could convince you, the person, that you're injured. You were injured previously listening to this. And you're not leaving this reading injured any longer. It's not that all of a sudden your shit goes away and I created some miracle drug here. No. It's that there is something within the pattern of crossing that you snatched, at-willed, did woo-woo with. I don't know what it is that God is crossing, but it got us crossing. And I know shit about my goddamn energy. So if I know shit about my goddamn energy, I'm going to be curious to how my energy and your energy cross each other's paths. And I know how to beckon my energy. I know what to do with my energy. I know how far that shit goes. So, yeah. Just out of curiosity, I'm just going to be like, bring me back my energy. And then maybe my energy will bring me back a bit of yours. Why do I say that? Because there's a shred of your ego that loves to be at odds with people. But that being at odds with people is maybe also asking you, why is there despair in life? Why is there concern in life? Why was this the beginning of the reading? Hierophant, Knight of Swords with the King of Pentacles. Nice. But there's too many people. Alright. All I'm hearing with all this is, don't be somebody's bitch. Jesus Christ. That energy is not a concern. It's all drama. It's a fucking telenovela. It's a soap opera. Like, it's going on for too long. There are enough researchers out there who will probably give you enough material where my opinion is not included as part of the message. And that, yeah, it's part of the message. It's like, maybe it's time to not say anything because there's enough shit going around you where you don't need to say anything. Everyone else is saying their piece. It's enough. It's saturated. It's absolutely fucking saturated. Queen of Pentacles with the Magician. Where there's a war, politically, and maybe even patriarchy, there's feminine energy as its backbone. And that's the truest energy that's fucking with your intuition. That's the energy that's asking you, hey, you. Feminine has masculine and feminine. And masculine has feminine and masculine. So let's just be mindful when we say creator, it's creator, and then we listen in English and it's fucking just masculine. No, it's not just fucking masculine, alright? It takes mommy to make the baby, and mommy is feminine and masculine. And daddy is feminine and masculine too. And you is feminine and masculine too. Not gender specific. So until that message quantifiably gets understood, we're going to have a hard time decoding feminine and masculine energies. And then politicizing a common ground, which is feminine and masculine energies. Which, no, are not gender specific. But if we're going to have the conversation, the universe makes it very fucking specific. Right? Makes it very fucking specific. It's just we get that fucked up sometimes. We say creator and they're like, wait, creator? Creator? Masculine only? No! You have... I'm just going quiet now about that. Okay? Please do know I'm 7th. That reads these energies for Bastet and Sekhmet. Sekhmet is both feminine and masculine. The feminine aspects of her is ruthless. The masculine parts of her equally so. Bastet, a charming little darling compared to Sekhmet energy. But the dominant part of her alpha, the masculine, is ruthless to keep her feminine intuitive powers at a feminine all-time high. This isn't a joke. All right? Feminine and masculinity isn't a joke. Isn't to be played with. Isn't to be tossed around and utilized and manipulated people and get their money to fuck with them about the identity of who they are. Whomever it is that they want to be, they should get the resources to be more of who they want to be. But the moment we put a preaching element on it, and this is my way and the only way, is going to be a problem. Unless the way speaks about the way and is truly the way. And the more you gravitate to the person who says, or the thing that says they're the way, you'll know whether or not they're going to be the way or not. Because without them, you're no longer part of the way. This is the true denomination of knowing if you're in the right fucking crowd of people. But once it starts not making sense, that's the ticket that nothing about what you're doing makes any kind of profit of you or for you. It makes no sense. So if it makes no sense, it will provide no sense. I don't even know what to fucking call this shit. The shit. Just kidding. Just kidding. Lighten up, everybody. When I said be in your way, get in your way, oh, these are the cards for being in the way. The flow, the way, the in, the out, the free will, sovereign, all that jazz. This is it. You're being put in the way. Put in the way. Put in the way. And while you're in the way, and anything that wants to try to drown you, you kick him. Kick him in the jugular. Don't drown me. I'm on my way. Don't burn me with your shit or your disrespect. Bye. So, may you feel that inspiration. May you heed the fucking call. And may you feel the inspiration of the motivating energy to get you going. Because this is a twisted world right now, where you are inundated with the pros and inundated with the cons. And then you're asked to choose between the two because it's your fucking choice. One is the way and one is a way. So figure it the fuck out for yourself. You're entitled to that. I mean, 100%. That is your sovereign fucking right. Starting with your noggin. Your noggin. Alright, that's it. That's all I got for you for now. I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in this ether of time and space. And may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.